Hey there, www.andrewmartinmusic.com. This is a Riffvlog on emergency points measures. So this is an economic solution for the masses that a healthy government could implement for 3 months at least through like what they did a War Measures Act back during World War II, or we can call it a sun virus emergency points act, demiurgic, corona. Okay, behave, Andrew. So this is going to be a bit rambling. I do believe that if humanity had any sense, they would make this video go viral because it is a viable solution for solving massive financial hardships for the masses. Now, we already know that the billionaires, they're probably losing a few million, but their via currency masters are solving that problem by just quaffing up trillions of dollars to put into Wall Street. So, Jeff, you'll be okay. Okay, so what we need to look for here first, we just need to explore what a healthy government nation state would look like. And the best way to go about assessing that is to use a parent analogy. So what do healthy parents do for their children, and what do toxic parents do? So, an unhealthy parent would be sort of like communist Russia and communist China, where the parent just wants to smother you with surveillance and every injunction about what you can and cannot do. We don't want that. Bad idea, bad ideas. Sorry, Mr. Marx, bad idea. So we don't want a toxic parent in that sense. Over-controlling doesn't work. Now, what a healthy parent does, well, first let's go to the second aspect, is much to the people who have created currency out of nothing over the last 250 years and just garnered themselves amazing wealth through doing this, much to their chagrin. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen via their sacred cow of printing presses. We already see, you can check out the Amazing Atheist video he just did today in March 14th, I think, where he correctly says, yes, it wasn't even talked about. It was just a given that the Federal Reserve just 1.5 trillion to Wall Street and the stock market, and it wasn't even talked about, So the fiat currency masters will not solve this situation. It's their sacred cow for them. They are the 1% as far as financial elites, and they got there through usury. This is not controversial. It's basically very basic facts of finance about what they've done. So we can't look to that particular mechanism as a solution to this economic crisis that the sun virus, is causing. But okay, so you could think of that cabal of private interests who took control of the money supply over the last 250 years as a chosen type of group. They're chosen to do this. Now, this is bad parenting. Any good parent knows that you don't make scapegoats out of your children. If you're a healthy parent, you just don't do that. It's not. Note to Jehovah. Please listen to Andrew on this one. Bad, very, very bad. No do. So the chosen is just a bad way to parent, it's a bad way to do finance, really, but this is not what this video is about. But we have to sort of go through this, assessment to get to my point about points. There's two examples of very bad parenting as far as nation states and economics and finance and who creates a means of exchange. Bad, very, very bad. And it's led to inevitable crisis after crisis. So what would healthy parents do if they ran nation states in economics? Well, you wouldn't choose favorites. Healthy parents make sure all their children know it doesn't matter if their child is exceptionally brilliant. Neoliberal economics only cares about the exceptionally brilliant. Everybody else is just debts peons. See my blog yesterday on that issue. So, none of this favoritism among the children of the nation state. And you don't center out certain demographics within the family. The exceptional you don't give special privilege to. The less brilliant, the handicapped, whatever the other children are, whatever their difficulties and insufficiencies are, a good parent still takes care of their basic needs. And this is a very important point about what I'm talking about here, what a healthy nation state as a parent would do. It would make sure all people, every single person, had their basic needs covered through all kinds of bylaw mechanisms, right, that didn't favor certain groups, right? We're talking about just basic needs of housing, food, education, and healthcare. Those are what I call the 4 pillars of a New Earth Commons. You could see my blog on that. So that's what healthy parenting on the nation state would look like. Do we have it? No, of course not. We have toxic parents. Like I said, we have the over-controlling parents of the Marxist states and the Chosenites under economic liberalism through control of the means of exchange. So now we'll get to my point of this video, which I think is extraordinarily important under the circumstances, and it leaves their sacred cow alone. They can have it, and it can just continue going on through this crisis, whatever they've got to do with it, and we can pick up again after. This is hopefully a 3-month emergency measures that could be taken via points. Points. You know who gets points? The PGA. When they golf, go Tiger. He gets points, and they play a FedEx thing at the end. Points. Every single credit card right now comes with points. You want to fly, you get points. Points, 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 points. Points is the solution right now. So what a healthy nation state would do under this circumstance, it would bring in emergency point measures. So this is arbitrary how the numbers would work. I'm not an expert in economics, but I do know that things like it have been tried before in different circumstances and different contexts. But the basic premise still works, like the tulip thing in the Dutch a couple hundred years ago in Holland. So anyway, the infrastructure for points is already there. So what I'm suggesting is that if the governments, toxic governments, refuse to use the fiat currency to help the people, right? A simple way the fiat currency masters could solve this problem before I get to points is do a debt amnesty. Just say, okay, that's it. You're debt-free. The debts are forgiven. But they won't do that because there's only one law under a worldwide religion of money, and that's no debt forgiveness. You cannot do that. So that's off the table. There's no such thing as forgiveness of debts when it comes to the religion of money that has now encompassed the whole earth. So no debt, they won't do a debt amnesty. We already see, as I just mentioned, that they are taking care of the elites by pumping trillions into the stock market to make sure Mr. Bezos doesn't lose a couple more million. So we know the super elite are fine. Okay, they're taking care of themselves through their holy cow, and but what a good, healthy, decent government that had any kind of integrity, that had any kind of concern for the masses' basic needs and just basic human dignity and decency and common sense would do is arbitrarily, by law, as an emergency measure for 3 months, implement a point system. So the values associated are arbitrary. I don't know. I'm not an economist, but let's just say everybody becomes a billionaire overnight via points. All right, I love it. I love this idea. Okay, so everybody gets 1 billion points deposited into their credit cards, wherever, their banks, wherever points exists. And if people don't have points already, we could set up little things at the post office where you go get your 1 billion points. And they can put out stickers too. I am now a billionaire. Everybody wins here. Okay? I'm starting to sound like Don Cherry. Yeah, and by law, everybody has to accept points. So the landlord has to accept points. The grocery stores have to accept points under an emergency measure for 3 months. This becomes the new currency for 3 months under emergency measures. Does it need to be universal? Does Jeff Bezos need points? No, he doesn't. So it needs to be implemented intelligently and targeted to those who need it. Okay, it doesn't need to be weighed down with philosophical complex abstractions. Okay, sorry, no intellectual dishonest web here. Okay, let's just do the right thing for once and be good parents and take care of all the children in the family. And that would solve this problem. And further down the road, we need some corrections here. The system is broken, it's toxic, it's bad parenting, and we can address that later. But for now, let's get through this crisis in a way that good parents would be proud of. www.andrewmarmusic.com. Peace out.
Skies are black, the water's dead. Bombs keep falling on the walking dead. I wonder what it is I'm gonna miss the most when civilization ends up plateaued. We're living in the end times. We're living at the end of time. We're living in the end times. We're living at the end of time. Cause God is dead, so now we're all whores for our daily bread. Post-secular, these pomo creeds, it dulls your soul till we can't even bleed. We're living in the end times, we're living at the end of time. We're living in the end times, we're living at the end of time. We're living at the end of time. We're living at the end of time. We're run by the politics of greed. It only matters what you sell, not what you need. The economy's of eco disaster, like lemons we're all urged to faster and faster. We're living in the end times. We're living